an exercise there. It's called I Am Remarkable Because.
I have two interesting, inspiring guests with me, Becci and Rene.
Hi.
How's it going? That's the most important thing, because no income, no content creation, no hobbies, no life.
What tip would you give for the future that could help her?
Invest in Bitcoin.
It is an expensive job, but more expensive hobby as well.
So would you recommend someone else to start the content creation journey? Welcome, at your opportunity seekers, to this special episode, because today I have two interesting, inspiring guests with me, Becci and Rene.
Hi.
How's it going?
Thank you for being with me today. So, Rene, you are internationally known YouTuber. You are in the area of gaming.
Yes.
And you inspire people because you are not just an expert in gaming, but you are also an expert in community building and mental resilience. And Becci, you are a talented host, voiceover artist, a content creator, and you captivate your audience with your diverse formats. So thank you again for being with me today. Today we will dive into the topic of mental transformation, personal growth, and how you reach your goals, not just personally, but also in the gaming area. So first of all, I would like to know from you, how did you start your content creation journey? And also, what mental challenges have you had from the beginning on, and which mental challenges have you overcome?
First of all, thank you so much for having us, and thank you for the kind words. We appreciate that. What were the first challenges? I would say back in the day, before I started doing videos or before I built my community, I already had a full-time job, worked 40 hours as a fitness coach, and then having the time afterwards, preparing content is what was really draining at the very beginning, especially since from the very first steps, you didn't receive much feedback. You don't have a big community. You needed to build a community first. But once you were able to build a small community, get positive feedback and nice comments, it's something that really motivates you. And after that, I was able to, get more motivation and upload more consistent.
I started 12 years ago with my YouTube and Twitch journey. And back then it was also hard for me to maintain the balance between my studies, because I have a bachelor degree in media and event management, going to work and building up the YouTube community and the Twitch community and coming up with new ideas. Back then it was really hard to start, also because there were not many role models, especially for women or for girls. And so it was a little bit hard to find my own style and my way how I want to go. But I think to stay true to myself, really like the whole 12 years and doing really what I wanted, made it so easy to do it for already 12 years. And the most things I struggled with was comparing myself with others, because I was like, oh my God, this person is so much more successful than me and has more viewers or gets more work than me. And it was really hard for me not compare myself, because I'm just another individual, and it's very good if you just focus on yourself and to improve yourself. And this was one of my main challenges to recognize.
So your content also covers a wide range. How did you manage this? Because I think this is so difficult if you have so many things that you can create. How did you manage it to really focus and not get distractions by other things?
Yeah, this is actually really, really hard. And this is something I struggled with the last years, because everyone tells you to niche down, like to find your niche and do things in this niche. And for me, it was so hard because I have so many interests. I love nerd stuff like a Lord of the Rings, or I watch Formula One. I love seeing football, video games. I like to craft stuff. So there are many things I really like. For me, it was just like to find people who want to see the world through my eyes and how I explore all these things. And over the last years, I started to present the things, just everything I like. And in my mind, I just changed it like to the view. People want to see me doing it. So the way I present it to them, they can watch Formula One with someone else, but they want to watch it with me. this was a little bit that helped me to just stay to myself, be myself, and not think about all this niching down stuff, so that I also have fun with the things I do. Rene can tell something about niching down and how hard it is to have fun with it over 12 years.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I'm pretty much the opposite of Becci because I found my niche pretty early in the beginning of my content creator journey. Ever since I found my niche, I pretty much stuck to my niche. Best known for playing horror games or creepypasta EXE games. That's what they're pretty much called. And yeah, I've been doing this for the past, I would say, like 10 years now. It's kind of hard to still find the same enjoyment in playing these games, but there are a lot of hidden gems within those games that keeps me going. And especially since my community loves watching me playing these games, of course, continue playing these.
And how important is your mental strength during your playings or during your games?
I mean, I would say my mental strength is quite strong mentally, but there are days where I'm like less motivated to, turn on the camera and put on that face. But then there are days where I'm like more motivated and more energetic, full of enthusiasm, and when I'm just playing my character. Most of the time, I'm just cameras on, playing the character, trying to be as entertaining and energetic as possible. But for some days, or at some days, especially I would say during winter depression, it's a little hard to maintain that strength.
But how do you handle it? Do you have, for example, specific habits or specific routines?
Sometimes I'm just trying to overcome it. What really helps me, getting stuff off my mind is working out, going to the gym. It's helping me getting a lot of steam and a lot of stress off my chest. And it helps me also like clearing my thoughts, getting everything together. And it's what really helps me getting motivated to sit in front of the camera afterwards. Just getting everything sorted inside of me.
And good food.
Oh, good food, of course, as well.
Food is always good. You have over 1 million YouTube subscribers. This is such a huge thing. What helped you, or do you think there was a mindset shift that you had during this phase while you were content creating?
I mean, one of my major goals was always hitting at some point 1 million subscribers. And I still can't believe it that I was able to reach that milestone at some point. But as I said, it was consistency. It was this big goal that you always try to chase. And once I was successful, I kind of felt fulfilled. But then I was like, 1 million is awesome. But what about 2 million? So you always have to dream big and try to reach for more goals. Set yourself some goals, some milestones. Because I personally think it's always more beautiful to chase after these goals than reaching these goals.
That's true. That's true. And you're helping each other.
Of course, Sarah.
Yeah, I think a good thing is that Rene and I, we are both content creators. So we totally understand the struggle that comes with the job. We understand when we're sometimes like, not so motivated, or if we have like stress with
We're busier.
stuff or busier. Yeah, so, or when he has to stream in the night and I have to go somewhere else for events. So we totally understand like all the struggles and the good stuff, and we can motivate us.
To support each
Support and motivate each other. And sometimes it is also good that we split up chores, so that when we know someone of us has to focus on a specific theme. For me, it's Gamescom, for example. This is the whole week for me where I'm just away from home. And I have to prepare a lot before Gamescom. Then there is Gamescom. And after Gamescom, I just need 4 days to get a recovery, because it's like a super exhausting venue. And so there's this time where we support each other very good.
So you looking up or to rest.
Oh, yes.
It's also very important.
I mean, I'm 32 years old now, and this is something different. When I was in the beginning of my 20s, there was no problem with like doing everything, but now I'm a little bit older and I really appreciate this downtimes, or these rest times, because I really need to recharge my batteries. And I also recognize that I'm a better host and a better content creator if I give myself these times, because I can't do always 150%. This is not possible. Sometimes you just need to rest and to like relax your brain so that you can be creative again. Because creativity, I don't have to say maybe to creatives out there, but you can't just switch it on all the time. Sometimes it's okay, but most of the times like it's coming when you're like
still need to recover a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just to maintain the best self of yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes for me it's like 1 week or 1.5 week, like super stressful or super a lot of appointments that I have. And then I have 4 days in a row where it's just nothing and where I can relax. And I really, with this year, I started to do a year plan so that I can really visualize when there's like a lot of things to do and where I have some free time and where I can put cooperations between my hosting stuff.
And when you take time for yourself, what do you do then?
Playing video games.
Obviously.
Yeah, like I love playing video games or meeting up with my friends, playing board games. Most of the time, I just watch YouTube videos. I'm not so much into movies, TV shows actually. I go to the gym with Rene a lot. I started a little bit of reading again. Oh, and walks. We do walks. We do a lot of walking, yeah. We try to do it once per day. It's better in the summer.
Yeah.
So for 1 hour, we just go, like we have a little round. We go, it's about an hour. And this is like, I always say to Rene, we need to start a podcast when we're doing this because we're talking about so many different topics and so like relieving because we're talking about sometimes about work, what stress us, what we like.
Pretty much about everything.
Everything then about video games, trivia stuff. And we really need this just to like, yeah, to clear our minds and then we come back home and then we work again and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, content creation is really a tough game and you're doing it since such a long time. Were there ups and downs during this time?
There are always ups and downs, obviously. Life is a roller coaster, but so is the work as a content creator. If there was a specific up or a specific down in my life, I cannot think about anything from top of my head. Probably I would say a huge up was when I was able to quit my full-time job as a fitness coach, because then I was able to put 150% of my work into content creation. And that really also helped me succeeding in what I'm doing. But there's always, room for improvement and room for getting even better. During that time, I was also able to try different things out. But in the end, I noticed that my niche really helped me succeeding in what I'm doing.
But how have you dealt with self-doubt, for example?
I mean, from time to time, it's no secret, everyone is doubting themselves at some point, and so did I. But the most important thing is like being transparent with your community. If you tell the community what is on your chest, or if you talk to your people and asking them for advices, I think that's something that could truly help you in understanding what the people want or understanding what you want to achieve. And of course, I have my doubts, but I still do what I'm doing for the past 10 years and I still cannot complain. I love what I'm doing and I hope that I'm able to continue doing what I'm doing for the next 10 years as well.
Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best. And I think loving what you're doing is the most important thing.
It's really the most important thing. This is what I would say to every content creator out there. Start with loving what you do, not with thinking of making the money, because most of the time it isn't coming that fast. I think it's important. What do you want? If you just want to make money with content creation, there are a lot of ways you can do it. Like there are so many new tools already out there that were not acceptable when we started. So there is the way of going like the full revenue and money making stuff. But for me, it was always important to build a community, like a real community I can connect to and I can talk to. So this is actually also a question of what do you want of your career. And for us, it's like the fun. The fun, have money actually, yes, so that we have a good living. So for me, it's like the most important thing that I really can try out everything, because I'm on stream, I'm doing Just Dance, I'm playing indie games, sometimes I'm crafting stuff, And I think this wouldn't be possible if I have like, a niche where I get only my money from. And so I'm really grateful of this opportunity.
You both mentioned the community, and I got some questions for you from your community. So the first question I would like to ask you is, did you imagine the work as content creator to be like this?
When I've started like doing this, I thought it's like just staying in front of the camera and there's always a team, because the first content creators I really saw doing this stuff were back then Athene and Swifty. I followed them around on Gamescom. Athene and Swifty, they were great, huge Warcraft content creators. And they had a camera team and running around with them and doing all the stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, it's just like, sitting in your room doing some videos, and then you have the crew on the venues and they're doing all of the stuff. And this wasn't the reality actually, then I figured out. And also it's not that much playing. You also have to do a lot of things around it, like cutting and then all the getting jobs and the paperwork. Then once you start getting money, then it's just like a huge part around it, not only the content creation.
Yeah, editing is like a very big process of the entire thing, next to emails and business proposals and all that stuff. I imagine the work to be like that as a content creator. To be completely honest, yeah, I knew that what I was getting myself into at the beginning, but I never really had the intentions of making money in the beginning at first. As I said, I made my first YouTube videos by playing horror games, and I just wanted to share my funny reactions with my friends.
There was no possibility back then to make money out of it.
I
So
mean,
not
there have
that
been
much money.
not many possibilities, but there were like
Not
the
so-
classic
Yeah.
opportunities, like with Google AdSense, ad
Yeah.
revenue, that can get these ads played on your YouTube channel, and then you're gonna get a small percentage from the ad revenue. But as I said it, back in the day, I haven't had the intentions of making it big or making money. I just shared my reactions with my closest friends of me getting jump scared for playing horror games. And after uploading for over a year, I somehow reached 1,000 subscribers. There were like 1 or 2 videos that went viral. And I've seen, oh, wait a second, I can actually build a community like that. And after that, I noticed, oh boy, uploading content on a regular basis is quite hard and more time consuming than I expected. But then I decided, okay, let's go all out. Let's give it your all. And after like a year, I was able to reach 10,000 subscribers. And then I noticed, oh, wait, there's also a little bit of money behind. Okay, even more motivation. Let's see where this is going. And a year later, I had 400,000 subscribers, and I was able to quit my full-time job as a fitness trainer.
Wow, congratulations.
I just want to add a little thing, because back then the possibilities to make videos a little bit harder than today. Today we have so many cool equipment. I mean, you can record things with your
These things.
Yeah, definitely there's these things, or like, I mean, we had smartphones back then, but they weren't that good to record with.
The quality was also not the greatest.
Yeah, and now you have webcams, they can stream in 4K and stuff like this. If I would start today, I would have a totally different view on the job actually, and then it was also like different.
Yeah, you needed so many
Yeah.
workarounds for most things to work. If you wanted to stream from your consoles, like the PlayStation, for example, you needed a lot of different gear, like a capture card, which you most likely need nowadays as well, but an HDMI splitter.
It was super expensive. Everything was expensive, and now it's like
It is an expensive job, but an even more expensive hobby as well.
yeah.
So would you recommend someone else to start the content creation journey?
Of course, if you're like motivated to do content, then go for it. It's like with any other hobby. If you're like interested in, I don't know, crafting or ice skating or bouldering, then just go and do it. Like if you want to try it out, do it. But I would say like do it with the intention for the process, like for the creating process, because that's needs to make fun. Otherwise, it's like really, really hard. I started doing vlogs again because in the beginning I loved to cut videos, over the years, I started hating it because it's like the most annoying part. I like to stand in front of the camera, doing like all the stuff, writing the scripts, and yeah, but editing is just not my word. And now I started like to love it again because I'm really starting from scratch now, watching YouTube videos and starting learning everything again, and now for other bases because there are now so many tutorials out there also. And yeah, so I would totally recommend it if you're in the love of the process.
As Becci has already mentioned it before, things were quite different back in the day, different back then, especially when it comes to equipment. Nowadays, each and every single person pretty much has a smartphone, and these smartphones are so much more advanced, like have pretty good mic qualities, camera qualities. All you need to start off your content creator journey is pretty much press the record button on your smartphone and yeah, being creative, and then you can pretty much start it. Yeah.
And sometimes I'm so impressed what also young people out there already doing on all these apps. When I see TikToks and stuff like this, and they're so creative, and I'm like, oh god, when I watch the videos I did with when I was 12, they're like super cringe. And nowadays, like they're doing their dances and their
On the side of somewhere, like the content creation itself has shifted.
yeah.
So what advice would you both give someone who wants to start or who is in the process of content creation, but maybe that needs some motivation, a tip from you that would help the person to keep going and stay to his goals?
You have to climb Cringe Mountain. You definitely have to. Like you have, it's a try and error, I think. And once like you got past Cringe Mountain, then it really starts to get more fun, and then also the success comes, I think. But actually, I think consistency is something you can.
Like consistency is something that truly helped me overcome my struggles. But Becci said cringe mountain. I think at the beginning, or when I started making YouTube videos, I personally didn't think that my videos were cringe per se. But at some point, if you're looking back at your older videos, they're always cringe because you see, or you can actually see or notice how much you improve over these years. And I'm pretty sure that looking back at my videos from, I would say, 2025 in the next 5 years, I probably would say that the videos from 2025 are also pretty cringe because of how much I've improved with my content over these years.
Yeah, I think it's also with like a fitness journey. If you like watch in the mirror every day, you will not see something change. But if you make a picture like on the beginning of the month and in the end of the month, and you were consistent, then you will definitely see something changed. And this is the same with content creation. Consistency is key, and that you have really fun with doing it. And if you have like, if you're stuck somewhere, then just go out there and talk to other people. Like talking to others always helps me, or like Rene and I, we also talk about our struggles. And sometimes you get a really good hint or a tip from someone else who struggled maybe with the same thing. And then this is like the push you needed. And for me, it was like, I just started again with vlogging. I just think it's a good example now. I just started again. I was like, okay, no pressure there. Nothing has to be perfect. I just started to film. And I also talked in the vlog about, I hated that everything is always has to be so perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to show this is me standing in my bathroom. My bathroom is not very aesthetic and nothing like this. And I just wanted to do the vlog and not thinking about, so stop overthinking. Just do it. Yeah, because nothing is perfect. Yeah.
Stop procrastinating, just do it.
Yeah,
Just doing it. Once you are starting, things are going, pretty much on they're starting being on autopilot. You just have to overcome these struggles. But also,
you have to become. It has to become a routine, and then it's like into your
part of your daily business, of your daily life, of your daily chores. What I can also recommend very quickly to others is, if they have not an exact idea of what you want to do, what kind of content, try to watch as many people, as many YouTubers or content creators as possible to find the perfect inspiration. And maybe there is something that you actually enjoy watching and you can think of creating yourself as well. So yeah, pretty much to all in read inspiration, find motivation, inspiration from others.
And you both are really proud about yourself.
Can't complain. I'm proud of her.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you very much.
And now we'll talk about the negative things. How have you handled the negative comments, the pressure, all those things people don't want to talk about?
My darkest year was 2021. Back then, I did all this stuff for 9 years. And back then, I reached a point where I was so desperate and devastated with all this Twitch and YouTube stuff because it was also the Corona time. There were no events, and I got most of my motivation and my acknowledgement and my confident boost out of events when I'm hosting them, because standing on stage and talking, presenting, having guests on stage, I live for this. And with Corona, all this died. So I only had my stream and my YouTube, and this wasn't never that big. And so I lacked in validation. Things I'm doing, worth doing it. And this was such a hard time because I saw so many, now we have the comparison stuff again. I saw so many people doing the same thing as I did, or I did years before. I had many ideas for streaming and I was too early with it actually. And they got so successful with it. And this was so hurting actually myself that I stopped streaming in 2021 for 6 months. I just said, people, I need to go now. I need to breathe. I need to get things in my head sorted out. And I really, really, really worked on myself together also with some really close friends who really helped me overcome all these negative thoughts and all this comparing. And so I really started to see what I'm worth for. And I like to recommend an exercise there. It's called I Am Remarkable Because. And then you just add everything. And this can be because I'm remarkable because I went to the gym 3 times this week. I'm remarkable because I cooked a healthy meal tonight. I'm remarkable, and I added things because I studied in Germany. I grow a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, a career out of the things I love. And so to remind myself what I'm capable of and what I can do. And yeah, since then, working this out and helped me a lot. And this, so now I can handle negative comments or this comparison stuff way better than back then. And it also made me more successful in my job, I think. Yeah. So sorry, I talked so much.
No,
Didn't stop yet, but
yeah, it's really beautiful. So you had a self-love journey.
Yes.
And you found out how remarkable you are.
Yeah, because I just wondered that sometimes we forget things like this. Because for us, it's so yeah, this is normal. It's a normal thing for us, but for someone else, it isn't. Maybe you think, just to give another example, you're going to visit your mom because she needs help, because she's old or stuff like this, and you're helping your family out. For you, maybe it's yeah, I'm just doing it. This is a normal thing to do. But for other people, it's super impressive that you can handle this with your job or your work-life balance. Yeah. And I'm a scout leader in my free time as well. And with my kids, they're in the age from 13 to 16. We do this exercise every end of our hours when we meet in the week. And then I push the kids to say something that they think they're remarkable of this week. And sometimes we have grades in school that they're really proud of, or that we have one child, she's having 6 hobbies. She's ice hockey, then she's playing 3 different instruments, and she's in 1,000 school after activities, and she just she goes to training at 4 a.m. for ice hockey. Yeah. Yeah.
easy.
Then she goes to she makes this training and then she goes to school. Wow. This is wow. And she's yeah, this is normal. So she has to do it so she can play.
And for us, was all for her.
But it's normal because then and if she don't do it, then she isn't allowed to play in the game on the weekend because she needs an amount of training she has to visit. So she's in the team. Yeah. And 4 a.m. Okay. Yeah. So, and then I was this is something you are remarkable of. And she said, oh, really, am I? Just to remind yourself what you have accomplished all the way. And sometimes it's good to look back and to see this. So, but now. So,
Yeah, I think you pretty much said everything. But negativity, negative comments, I would say.
A lot of actually more negative comments than because you have a bigger audience.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think the best thing you can do to handle this is by just completely ignoring it. Or there's so many tools nowadays on social media that you can block specific words, or you can still block specific people that are really like a burden to yourself, or they could really suck off your motivation or everything that makes you happy. Sadly, negative comments leave a bigger impact than positive comments because you see more negativity and then you're starting self-doubting. But I think at some point, you just have to ignore those. Most of the time, or I would say like 90% of the times, the people that are leaving negative comments just they just want a reaction from you. And if they get a reaction from you, or if you respond to them, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe you actually responded. Your content is actually quite nice. And they out themselves as actual fans. So it's quite crazy. They just want to provoke a reaction most of the time.
Edgy, and so sometimes I don't give. If you watch a video and you really like it, just write a nice comment because we really need this, or like content creators need this. Because sometimes I also watch videos and I really liked it, but I just give a thumbs up, but I don't write a comment. But haters, they always comment. So this is why also comments also.
The hate comments are always louder, or the negative comments or negative voices are always louder than the positive ones. What I can also say for especially streamers or while live streaming, good advice is having a moderation team of people helping you moderate the chat when there's I hope profanity is alright. If they're like assholes that are writing mean comments, that your moderators are just banning them or kick them out of the chat, so the streamers can focus on the positive things from chat.
And how do you handle this? Because you are more or less 24/7 reachable and you are doing your content creation every day. How do you handle to really shut down and, for example, do a holiday?
That was, for me personally, very hard task to overcome. Between the years 2015 and 2021, I upload daily videos. I didn't know what holidays or weekends felt like or where. I never had pretty much a day off. And if I went on vacation, I started pre-recording my content and prepared everything, scheduled everything. But I wasn't really able to look forward to the holidays or to the vacation because there was so much work beforehand before I was able to turning my mind off. And even while on holidays, my mind isn't resting. I was like, okay, this would be a nice video to make, or I could probably record that, or I want to share something on my social media pages. It's always, you cannot turn off your mind. You always are 24/7 fixated on the content. Nowadays, I was able to take a few days off, like once or twice a week. So I'm not uploading daily anymore. But even when I'm on vacation for example, we've been to Japan 2 years ago. I even brought my laptop with me, and during our stay there, I tried to find some time to record videos.
You also stream.
I also streamed at one point, from Japan, but I'm not editing myself these videos during vacation, but I have a good friend that is doing the editing part, so I can focus more on the vacation itself.
Yeah, because an editing part, as I mentioned before, like recording the stuff isn't taking that long. The editing stuff and all the things around it, like creating a thumbnail or finding a video title, this also
the
feels...
description, tags, everything is part of the entire process.
Yes. I mean, Rene's like cutting on one video, I think 4 hours or stuff like this, because like his videos are full of effects. For me, it's like even longer because I started to learn cutting again. So I don't have all the macros and shortcuts and all the stuff. So it took really long for a 10-minute video to to search through all the files. For me, for my vlog, for example, to search through all the files. And then like I just mentioned to Rene the last days, it was 3-second segment I did in the video. It took me 1 hour to create it because for me it was like something new to do, but I was so proud of it when I was in the video. But I think no one will recognize it because they think, oh yeah, it's like 2 clicks or something like this. I think maybe nowadays it is with like CapCut and stuff like this. But if you editing in Premiere, a bit more clicks, and I had to watch 2 tutorials. But yeah, I think this is also like stuff that comes together. And as you mentioned, when we went on holiday, also the social media part, like doing a social detox, it's not so easy because you also want to stay in touch what is happening online, because our jobs also relate on being updated, like for you with the games.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like news stuffy. And so it's really hard like to really put away the phone. But I think we got better.
Yeah, well, I think we found the perfect balance for that works for both of us.
Yes, because this is also a thing, this is very good because that you're both content creators, because I think other couples won't like include time in their vacation where they say, okay, this is dedicated content creation time. So for us, it was like, okay, Rene's doing when we were in Japan, like in the mornings, he's recording his video. In the meantime, I scheduled the route and what we want to do. And so we split the tasks. And when he was finished with his video, I was ready to go.
Also, we have to take our time, but also taking pictures for social media. You want to take own dedicated pictures for social media from specific places in Japan that you want to post or share with your community. So we've been to Japan at a specific shrine, or we've been to Los Angeles last year at Disneyland. I was taking nonstop pictures of Becci so she can use some of them for social media. So that's also a way of supporting each other, enjoying the moment, but also taking some time to take 1 or 2 extra pictures for content. Exactly.
This is always on your mind. And I think I don't say this is nothing new for people who are like, you really have to work every time, because if you're not working, there's no money coming. It is not only with the content creation, it's like with every job in this kind. So yeah, but it's really, really important that you find your rest days and that you recharge your batteries.
How do you find your rest days? And what's very important, what you said before, how do you stay present in the moment while creating content and also like enjoy this moment? For example, as you mentioned, you have been to the Disneyland, which is super amazing because I've been there and it's like, being a child again. But how can you handle both things, like staying in this moment and enjoying it while you're taking pictures or doing videos?
Disneyland is a good example here, because I was like enjoying it the whole time. And I was always saying to Rene, put down the phone. So we remind each other of like being present. But in this case, it was good because Disneyland was my dream. And so for him, it was like, he also wanted to be there, but he knows it was my dream and I wanted to be there. And so it was like his job, like a little bit, to taking all the pictures and the videos. And so it was for me more to enjoy it. And
She was able to enjoy it, but at the same time has a lot of content that she could use if she wants.
But the other way round, when we went to Japan, we went to the Universal Studios, to the Super Mario Land.
Nintendo World.
And I know how important it was to him to be there and to explore all this thing. And then it was switched. So for me, it was also exciting and I loved everything, but I was not so overwhelmed. So I took all the pictures of him and made the stuff.
Yeah, we are supporting each other quite good when it comes to creating content, but we can also tell ourselves, okay, it's time to put the phone down and just relax for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And what tip would you give someone who is at the beginning, for example, that he shouldn't put on too much pressure to record everything, kind of, or is there another tip that you want to give?
When I was starting, I tried to record as much as possible, tried to record pretty much everything, but I think only if you record at the beginning everything, you start to notice what you want to use and what you can use in the future, want to use in the future, and what you can focus on recording it for future videos. So in the beginning, record as much as possible and then edit it, cut it out, know what you want to do in the future, pretty much.
Yeah. Do everything and then you see what's working and what's not working. Yeah.
And what would you say is one mental game changer that you would share with someone who is struggling to follow his own path in regarding mental blocks?
For me personally, as I said, the best balance that I had between work and life worked quite well for me was like taking my mind off by going to the gym. I was able to physically but mentally improve myself. But it's a pretty hard question because it works different for most people, I would say. Just because going to the gym helps me getting a lot of mentally load off doesn't mean that it works for someone else, for example. But yeah, I think conversations with your friends or with family members definitely helps. If you have something to talk about or that is a burden on yourself, find someone to talk about it.
Yeah, but only people who understand what are you doing, because actually, because sometimes you talk to the wrong people and they just make it worse.
True that.
And if they don't understand, because they're like, how are you like crying around because of this? This is nothing. There are so many other problems, blah blah blah. So find really the right people to talk about, or set like rules for the conversation, because sometimes I'm also going to Rene, I'm just saying like, okay, I just want to rant. I don't want advice. I just want to rant now. Rant with me. So this is also sometimes really helps to get things out of the mind. And for me, I also started a little bit of journaling. So like writing down what I'm grateful for the day and what was not so good, what I really liked about the day, like the remarkable stuff is also good advice. But as Renee mentioned, actually I think it's good if you try out many things and then find the thing for you. I also like to go to the gym sometimes, not every time, clearing the mind or like going over this motivation stuff. But I think it's really important that you find your way of handling it. So it's way how you make your business and how you make your videos and your content, and you also have to find your way to relax.
That's so true. And I think for everyone, something different fits. And as you mentioned, which is so interesting, because I just recently had a podcast and I had an expert from America, and he's also an athlete. And he said for men, the most things that work is working out.
Muscles. Men are easy.
So my second last question is, what tip would you give your younger self that he or she should know for the future that could help her?
Invest in Bitcoin.
So we're no financial advisors, okay? Please, Dolby.
I think what I would say to my younger self is like, what you love, like, because the whole journey started because I love video games and I love speaking in front of a camera. And I was glad to combine this both worlds to a job. And I would just say like, stick to your hobbies. And if someone says, oh, if you're just playing video games, you will someday live under a bridge because there's no money in this business, don't believe the haters. Just like do what you want and try it. And if it's something's not working, then you try something else. And just stay motivated by trying out new things, because I think this is the most important thing, so that I also stay motivated now, that I always add new things to my repertoire, or that I like stay on track with learning stuff. Like for me, it was like at last speaking, decrement, voice acting stuff. And yeah, so like stay motivated and love what you do.
I would say just stop overthinking and just do it. Pretty much, yeah.
Don't procrastinate.
Exactly. Do not procrastinate.
Don't want to be perfect. Just do it. Like
It will never be
it
perfect.
will never be perfect.
There's
If you-
always room for
if you
improvement.
wait for the perfect moment, it's gone. I know so many people say it, but it's so true. It's so true. Just do it. Go out there, talk to people. Don't be like shy or stuff like this. If you want something, go for it. Just go for it.
One thing that I just want to add, not necessarily want to tell my younger self, but I would love to tell everybody, if you have in mind to start making it big with content creation, always have a plan B, maybe like a secure job or something that you could, in any case, shouldn't content creation work out for you, go back to.
Yeah.
It's like always having a safe plan for, income. That's the most important thing, because no income, no content creation, no hobbies, no life, know how it is. So always have a plan B ready.
Or some savings that
Yeah.
you can really take when you are as we spoke before, when you're not healthy, that you have an income. And what is on your bucket list on things you want to do in your life?
Wow. Say I want to have my morning show again, because back then in 2015 I had Becci's morning show for ProSieben Games. It was a weekly morning show. It was 11 to 2 p.m. for gamers on Twitch, and
Brunch show.
the brunch show actually. Yeah. But it was so cool, and I loved everything about it, like recording stuff, organizing, and then we had the live show, and with very special guests, and we discovered the gaming industry a little bit. So something like this would be a goal again, I think, and maybe a cool role in a video game. I mean, maybe a little bigger video game. And I think personal, I want to travel a little bit more, see more different places again, together with Rene, because back when we were in LA, we were in Uber, and I said to him, I love to travel with him because we are the same people, what we like on traveling. Yeah, we really want to get up actually in the morning, see everything running around and no relaxing, just like discovering everything and
See
soaking
as
up.
much as possible. So I have to agree, traveling definitely is on the bucket list, but moving to a bigger place together, we've been waiting for quite some time to move out to a bigger place. So yeah, it's a waiting game, but once that's done, it's like a huge check on the bucket list. Besides that, yeah, content creation wise, I'm thinking of starting over with a German channel, because I'm on my 1 million subscriber channel, I'm doing English videos, but I think I would also love to connect better with people from the from Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Could also collab even better with Rebecca in that case. Maybe even more videos together with her. It's just some thoughts that are, spinning around in my mind that I think could maybe do in the future. Besides that, yeah, traveling 100%. But yeah, at some point I always wanted to learn Japanese, but I once started a Duolingo, and I've noticed how freaking hard it is. And then I lost motivation quite fast, because it is pretty time consuming. But maybe at some point I'm gonna get back to it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have a sister living in Japan, so you can ask her. She gives you lessons.
Well, then I wish you both so much luck to achieve both getting a greater space to live in and also travel more.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Do you have some last words that you want to share with the audience?
We love you.
Yeah, thanks for your time, for your great questions. I hope we inspired some people out there and give some motivation. If you want, you can always reach out, check out our channels, and
Don't forget to
good luck on your journey.
Thank you again for being here, and all the best, your Alex.